Thank you, Rachel and Trevin, for those songs. Those songs are part of what helped keep me alive when I was in my struggle. I know that Rachel worked really hard on that, and I appreciate that. I'm Tiffany. I'm 34 years old. I have two wonderful children, Emily, who is 11, and Iselle, who is 9. I came to my father's house here about 9-10 months ago when I'm a recovering drug addict. I just celebrated 9 months sober on the 11th. I came here totally broken, having no faith, no self-confidence in myself at all. And I grew up in a church, always going to church, going to Bible school with my grandparents. Was actually baptized in 2011, and as soon as I did that, I just ran from God, even though He was there with me. But I ran, and I just lived a really sinful life. I grew up, my mother passed away when I was 9 years old. She was an addict, and she didn't make it through her struggle. So going through that, it was tough, but I had a really good father. He was also an alcoholic, but my childhood, I remember being happy and having a lot of fun. And actually, at times, I think my dad was a better friend to me than a father, but he was a great man. He just recently passed away in January the 18th from liver failure. But with God and with my sobriety, it was a total state of grace getting to watch him pass for those 4 days and knowing that he's in heaven with my mother now and they're happy. I know she probably didn't let him in there very easily. He's probably hanging on the gate saying, "Leanna, let me in." So I started my use when I was 14 years old, and I'm 34, so like I said, I had 20 years of use when I came here. And 4 months before I lost my children to the KBC system. Last May 20th will be a year. It's probably my darkest time ever. And I knew that this process was going to happen, and I wanted it to happen because I knew that I would be able to get the help that I needed if I let that happen. I've always been a working person, good to my children. They've always been number one in my life, but I let that slide for a little bit. And it's okay. It's so happy. I'm really grateful for this process. Okay, so probably about 4 months before I lost them, I knew it was going to happen. I didn't know what I was going to do. I, at the time, was taking care of my father, who was put in a wheelchair about 3 years ago, and I had the opportunity to take care of him in my own home for about 10 months. And I always said I'd go to my grave taking care of him, because he took great care of us when he had lost my mother. So I had a really good job. I've always been in management, in healthcare. A really good job at Lake Mary as a supervisor. Had my own office, Monday through Friday job, was making good money. Had a beautiful home, and I just couldn't control, like I said, my addiction, and I let this happen. And when I met with them and they asked if I had family that my children could go to, and I picked up the phone and called my sister, and of course she took them with open arms. I'm so blessed that my children were able to stay together and stay with family, because she not only took care of them, she did more. She did way more. My son couldn't ride a bike without training wheels before he went there, and now he rides with the best of them, and I have to holler at him all the time to slow down. He can tie his shoes. He's done great in school, overcome some things that he had to in school. My daughter is playing the saxophone, which I actually grew up playing. They're in 4-H. They've done really great things with my children. And my children are super strong kids, and they love me till the end. So I came here in August of last year, and I had my sister drop me off at the doorstep at 6 o'clock in the morning one morning, because I knew this is what I was going to do. I was going to fill out my application and hope to to get in here. So I filled out my application, and 2 days later, Janae called me, and I said, of course. And I got in here. It was middle of August, and I was scared. I was really, really scared. I didn't feel like I had anybody. My family is really good family, and took their tough love of letting me go for me to succeed and get through what I needed to get through. So I came here, and I remember my first day with Janae in the office, and she said, this isn't going to be easy, Tiffany, but we want success. And like I said, I was so broken. I tried so many times to go to rehabs and to get help. I knew that I was going to give this my all. I was so willing and open-minded to get help. And I came here, and people kept talking about this program. You got to just, if you can work the program, it's okay. And I'm like, what program? This place is wonderful. I have a roof over my head. I have 3 meals a day, and I have a place my kids can come home to. And these people here, I felt the love. They believed in me. And it's when I started to hear, you can do this, you can do this. It wasn't easy at first, different personalities here of all the workers. But I kept pushing through, and I wouldn't change it for the world, man. I love each and every one of the people here. They've all made a huge impact on my life. I remember coming to church here, and I was so broken in my faith that because I had sinned so much, I thought, God's not going to forgive me. You know, I go to church and I hear, God's a forgiving God. He forgives you. And I just kept thinking to myself, there's no way he's going to forgive me again. I keep doing this. I keep doing this. So I come to church here one Sunday, and Kurt's up here talking. I don't remember what scripture is about, but I remember he's over here saying, you know, how God is a forgiving God. And he's over here saying, hey, I'm right here. I want to love you. I want to help you. And you've got your back turned away. And it was at that moment, that day, that I thought, you know what, maybe he's right. I can't have faith, and maybe God is going to forgive me. And I read a book by Rick Warren called God's Power to Change Your Life. And it changed my life. I know God forgave me and forgives me. He's a forgiving God for sure. I wouldn't be where I'm at today without him. Yeah, I'm living proof of that. What I was doing before wasn't working. And now, so I lived here for 10 months, didn't have a job, and I remember after 30 days of being clean, I called my sister, and she answered the phone. And the first thing I said was, thank you for answering the phone. I didn't care if she said anything else, just thank you for answering that phone. Yeah. And so I went into the NA fellowship. It's a great fellowship. They're a great support system. And let's see. I got a job. I met a girl named Michelle here. She's got a wonderful baby. And I didn't know if I was going to like her at first. I thought she was kind of mean. I kept telling her, you don't have to be so hard all the time. There are nice people here. And she was big and pregnant, and my room was right across from the washer and dryers. And she knocks on my door one day, and she says, hey, will you help me get the socks out of the bottom of the dryer? I can't reach them. So, of course, her and I kind of hit it off. And she had worked at McDonald's at the time. And I was talking to her about, hey, you know, will you help me get a job? She said, I don't want to put my word out there, you know, if you're not going to do good. I said, I won't do you wrong. I promise I wouldn't want you to put your word out there. So anyways, I went to McDonald's looking for a part-time job because recovery was my focus. Getting through recovery was my goal. And I worked about 20 hours a week starting out because I did intensive outpatient treatment for 8 months, 3 nights a week, and several different meetings here. So I'm still at McDonald's. I ended up, you know, working full-time hours and always being in management. I finally had the courage after just about 2 months ago to ask my general manager if she would consider me for management. I never thought I could do it. Man, I've never worked fast food, never worked food service, and it is fast-paced, totally time crunch. Anyways, I just completed my leadership training there for my management. I have a food safety class left to take, and I'll be a swing manager at McDonald's, and I love it. I get to lead people like I've always led people, and getting that respect from them and knowing that just a different approach to take to people. So I have my job going for me, and I hesitated for a long time filling out these apps. Janae is our monthly caseworker here, and I always told her she was kind of pushy. But like, you're pushing me. But I'm glad that she did. She kept pushing me to fill out applications for my own home. For 18 years, I've lived with 2 men and my children. Never ever been on my own since I turned 18 years old. I've always relied on somebody. And I walked out of a 10-year toxic relationship in November. And it's the hardest thing I ever did, but it was the right thing I did. I'll always love that. Always loved that man, and he loved me, but I know that I could never trust myself and live with him again and not use. And using's not an option for me anymore. So I got these applications filled out, and it's amazing all the things that God works in my life, man. If you do right, God prevails. He continues to provide for my children and I'm so thankful and so grateful for the people here, for God, my faith, and just being loved and how strong my children are. We now have our own 3-bedroom apartment, and my daughter's in softball. She was actually sponsored by the president of the Softball Girls Association here in Paola, and said, I can't wait to see your daughter on the field. Don't mail me in that payment. People came up with donations. She got all brand new equipment. And I didn't have anything to furnish my apartment because that was part of my recovery, was letting go of everything that I had. I haven't had a huge storage unit, but every time I opened up that unit, it just made me sick. Because the last 10 years was used, and I worked really hard at letting that go. So I'm like, all right, I got this apartment, and I have nothing to put in it at all, but it's okay. We'll sleep on an air mattress. We'll make it. God, my dad always said, tomorrow is a brand new day, something will come up. So I get the approved for the apartment, and then a lady calls here. She had had a house fire, and like 6 months ago, and she says, I have all this stuff to furnish a home, and I have to donate it. I have to give that donation receipt to my insurance. So she donated it to my family and I. And we got everything turned into an apartment. And that was amazing, man. Like I said, I had nothing, and now I have a 3-bedroom apartment that has everything in it. My children have beds. We have dishes. We have everything for it. And I'm so grateful for that. And this place, because this place made it possible for me. This place saved my life. This place believed in me when no one else did. I had a caseworker named Heather Quinn. I thought she was going to be able to be here today, but she's not. But when I first lost my kids in May, I continued to use for 3 months. I don't know how I did that, but I did. But I made it into outpatient services and was able to reframe this process into being a journey. My journey of my whole new life, brand new life. And I remember telling Heather, thank you for this. Thank you. Because of you guys in this system, I'm not the same person that I used to be anymore, because I was a pretty big monster. And I'm not that person anymore. And because of God is my higher power, the NA fellowship, the people here, the workers, and this place has the best coffee ever. I will always come back for this coffee. I got to see my children with Santa Claus this year. Wow, that was crazy. We had a family, or a church, an organization from Spring Hill come here, and they unloaded these presents on my lap. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I got Christmas for my children, and just everything, man. This community here has showed me something I've never seen before. The warmth and the believing that they did in me. I know that they truly do want success, and I love to see people come in here with a willingness to to succeed because they do want it. If you want help, they want to help you. They want to be your cheerleaders, man. Beth has been my cheerleader. I haven't had a lot of one-on-one words with Beth. She's always hidden somewhere. She's a busy lady. But I know she's been there behind me, cheering me on the whole freaking way, man. And everybody here, Rachel and the band gives great music. I love the music here. I love church. I love coming here. I love to see everybody's faces every day. And my children love it here. I never thought that I would live in a homeless shelter for as long as I did. But this place, people are crazy if they don't think they could come here and succeed. It's just amazing what I've gotten from this place and from the church. I went to a Bible study, a little Bible study with Kurt, Michelle, and a few others. I learned more in those couple weeks from that study about just God and my faith than I have ever, and it's comfortable in church now. So comfortable in church, and because of Kurt's made that happen for me. And forever, my mom committed suicide from her addiction, and I lived my whole life wondering if she was in heaven, and I wanted her to be in heaven so bad, and I wanted to believe that. And Kurt helped me know, by her grace, she's in heaven. Both of my parents are up in heaven, and what better of a day, a gift to give my mother. I'm her youngest girl. She gets to see me share my story that she couldn't beat, and I beat it, and I will go to battle with this. It's not ever an option for it to win. But I'm really thankful for this place, and I wanted to say that so bad in the past couple weeks, how grateful and how thankful I am to this place, and I'll be forever a part of it. They're not going to get rid of me very easy. I still come here and hang out sometimes whenever my kids will be home the 25th for good. So Monday through Fridays is kind of a struggle for me being alone. Like I said, I have never been alone in 18 years. So I still come here and hang out and drink the coffee and give these guys heck. And I think I'll always probably do that. Like I said, I love all of them here. Tracy's been a big part of me getting comfortable with this place. Everybody here is like, she's so mean. Will you go ask Tracy this for me? No, go and ask her. She just wants to see you do well. And once she sees that, man, she's helped me out. Been there, Steve's been there, Rachel's been there, Allison was here. Classy's a great individual. Everybody here is so great and always here. When my dad passed in January, he was my best friend. And there was a couple times all I wanted to do was cry. I just wanted to cry. These people didn't let me do that. It was as soon as I started to lose it, they were there wrapping me up, and I'm so thankful that they did. They helped me through that, and it wasn't a horrible thing. It was, like I said, a state of grace, and pretty much a happy thing. But I remember during that week, I thought, just let me cry, just let me be alone. But they did the right thing, and they supported me and wrapped me up, and I love that. And I just wanted to be able to tell everybody here how thankful I am for this community and forever be a part of it. So, and if any little piece of my story can touch anybody, then that's humbling to me. And being in recovery is about being humble and a genuine person. So, thank you guys for letting me share.
That's the kind of community I want to be a part of. Grace on tap. Let's pray. Gracious Heavenly Father, thank you so much for Tiffany, for her life and for her recovery, for her children. Father, help us to continue to be that kind of community. Bless us with your grace. You're an amazing God, doing amazing things right here, right now. And we honor for that. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. You're dismissed.